really get any actual questions in here, but I think you have such great information out there. It's really pretty easy to see how you feel about everything.
Yeah, I've tried to be really transparent in terms of my platform, my issues, and why I'm doing this. And the truth is, everybody likes like a professional wrestling fight, but this isn't about Sharice Davids, man. This is about a really bad framework for actually representing people and working people in governance. It just, Citizens United, it's been very hard for legislators to really have that level of independence. This is considered a career to go in there at this point, and I already have a career. I've been a technology director for a long time. I'm happy in my career. I'm not a corporate lawyer or anything like that. Needs another way to make a buck. I just don't see the kind of urgency to career politicians that we need in the environment we're living in right now. And I want to also call out my liberal folks who tell me, yes, she did vote for that, but she had reasons. She voted for ICE and she wanted to unblock the government shutdown. And hey, man, I'm not saying she didn't have reasons. I'm just saying they weren't good enough for me. Or the people whose children cry themselves to sleep every night, whose children are afraid that their parents aren't going to come home, children who across half a world away who are losing everything they have, including their lives, because of the arms that we supply over there. So listen, it's never that there's not a reason, okay? But it's never that I'm going to fault you for being bipartisan because I don't like bipartisanship, which is hilarious. What a silly argument. What matters is what you're bipartisan for, right? What you choose to cross the aisle for tells us everything we need to know. And I think that even if that is only 3% of your votes or 2% of your votes, whatever it might be, if it is a moral issue, if there's an issue of morality, you have got to be on the right side of history. And you have to reflect what your constituents are asking you to reflect. I know that folks have organized and asked her for a statement on ICE to back them up. I know that they've asked her to sign on for ceasefires. I know this. I know this because why? Because I'm in activist circles.
Yeah.
Do I fault her for playing the political game? No, but
you are the people. You know what I mean? You and your people are the people that are asking her to answer these questions, and they're not. That's how a lot of people are leading to run now, is because they've been trying to get from whatever representative it is, the representation that they want and that they need and they think the district deserves, and they're not getting it. So they're like, I guess I'm just going to have to go and do it myself.
If you won't answer my calls, listen to my emails, give me anything but a form letter, and you won't give a town hall, I feel like my recourse the list is short, right? And thank goodness we still have a democracy that allows me to go right down there and register at the Secretary of State in Topeka and put my filing fee down and say, hey, I'm going to give people the option to vote their conscience this year.
Definitely no APAC for you. And then I have a note here. You are taking money through Give Butter. Are you not doing the Act Blue at all? You just do the Give Butter?
So I prefer Give Butter because it's party independent, right? And so I have an Act Blue. There are people who will only give through Act Blue. I have one. It's not the one I publish. If you find me on there, cool, I'll take it. But the link I give is Give Butter.
Yeah. And both of the candidates I work with have people that would like to donate to them, but they do not want to use Act Blue. And so we've been trying to figure out another solution that isn't going to just absolutely take all of our money.
Yeah, so Give Butters, it is for progressives typically, and I can help you with that. You do have to do some customization so that you're compliant with FEC, requirements, but it's not hard. And there's plenty of DIY info online.
Yeah.
You and I are the same age. That's the other thing I think with Gen X, you can't tell us anything. We've been on the internet before the internet knew what the internet was, right? We are supreme DIYers. If we are supreme, do it with a Band-Aid, a paper clip, and a rubber band.
We know how to make do.
Yes, we do. Yes,
because we as a generation didn't have a lot of adults around to go run and ask how to do everything or what to do, or you know what I mean? We had to just I don't know, spitball it. We had to just make do. We had to just make do till the adults got home. And yeah, so we're pretty good at making do. And I think that you and I, particularly, I did the average, I put all of the different demographics together from the Kansas House districts, and I figured out what is the average Kansas voter.
Oh, okay.
The average Kansas voter is a middle-aged white woman.
There we go.
And that's why the abortion thing didn't work in 2022.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're generally going to be Republican statistically, but that's that at this point they could be any number of things as equally, you know.
And I also will tell you that there is this Kansas Republican phenomenon you probably know very well, where there's this sort of odd approach to Republicanism where it's essentially, I'm going to be an independent, but I don't want anybody to know I'm an independent. And I'm going to register as a Republican so I can control the narrative on that side. And I have heard what would probably be startling to Democratic leadership in terms of what rural people think that proportion is of Republicans. And I guess you can say, I do think there are some up for grabs, but I don't buy it that it's because you voted for the Laken Riley Act or because you voted to send more arms to Israel. I don't think those are the things that are winning them over from the Republican side. I think this idea that bipartisanship is the reason they're going to vote for you is odd. If it's all about bipartisanship and moderation, then why wouldn't they just continue to vote Republican because the moderates are on the Republican side too? So to your point,
exactly.
Give them a reason to show up and know what the data is saying. The data is saying that abolish ICE isn't actually controversial to the degree that they're presenting it to be. So yeah, explain to me how those same people are going to tell you how to win. You know what I mean? They don't even.
Oh my gosh, this is what I've been telling my candidates. I'm like, look, take it with a grain of salt. If they knew how to flip seats, we wouldn't be in this position. And so
how do you have one Democrat House seat that is your crown jewel, don't get me wrong, for 8 years, and you never figure out how to propagate that into other districts congressional districts throughout Kansas? Okay, if you really know what you're doing, and it's not just the demographics, the reality of the demographics pushing that Democrat seat, then I would think we'd have more than just District 3 as a Democrat. That's what I think. I don't think they really necessarily know.
I don't think we'd have super majorities in both of our chambers in the state house.
Agreed.
And I think it's like I said, it's going to be a good year all around. And I think that you're probably, now that Epley's out,
I know.
I would say the most progressive candidate we probably have at almost any level, to be honest with you. That I'm hearing a lot of hubbub or anything about, like whether you're talking about Senate or U.S. House, definitely Kansas House. You're one of the most progressive I've seen, and I was pretty excited. I was equally excited about you and Epley, but now I just got you because Epley will hopefully run for something else. I'm hoping he runs for something local or county or something next year.
I think Cole's very talented, and as a young guy, I think he's got nothing but runway in front of him to really refine his approach. And not that it was bad at all. I think he still had plenty of room to make a lot of impact there.
Yeah,
but I understand too. I get it, right?
My biggest critique of your opponent is that I've seen her multiple times say she's going to do one thing and then she does another, and then her reasons to me are excuses. Don't make promises you can't keep. and then keep the promises you make. If you say, I'm going to vote this way, then vote that way. If you say, I support this on the campaign trail, you need to support it when you go in there. If you have gotten more information, you've updated your stance. I get that. Cindy Holscher originally was just medical. And then as she went around and talked to constituents, she learned more and more. And now she's fine with rec. And people looked at that as a bad thing. I said, no, it's a good thing. She talked to the people and she was already halfway there. And so it's, and, but to go and say, people are tired of politicians saying one thing and doing another. And I think that there's several instances that you can directly say, she said this and then did this. It's very clear, cut and dry, saying one thing and doing another. And I just,
I think you have to offer real reasons. If you're going to do that, you need to understand the weight of doing that and the cost of doing that. The cost of entry at base is meeting with your constituents, sending out a statement, and giving them the opportunity to voice their disappointment to your face. I think that is the bare minimum. Now, if you've got a safety issue or something, say so. My God, just say so. I know that politics is crazy right now. I think folks would respect that. If you've got some reason to fear for your physical safety, that's maybe something different. But that's not what I've seen here. You can't even do virtual town halls. What's that?
I was at an event in Wichita, but it wasn't one where you could ask her. It was like a social thing. I had thought about going and asking her some pretty point blank questions, but I just didn't have it in me to drive all the way there and do it at the time that it was happening. That's when she was like, there was a hubbub that she might run for Marshall's seat for a second there.
There was a lot of talk like that up until the filing date almost. It was not, it was the last few weks maybe, but yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. She said she wasn't going to, but
she had enough. She's got enough money to do it for sure.
Yeah.
So if she wanted to, she could.